Beneath the Indian Ocean lay Samudra 1, humanity's proudest experiment. An underwater city of glass and steel, home to 500 scientists. Dr. Victoria Ross, marine biologist, thought of the city as a living heart. The hum of turbines and glow of conduits reminded her of breathing. Across the domes, Dr. Michael Carter, an astrobiologist, searched for patterns of life that might echo the stars. The two worked together uneasily, often debating whether deep-sea mysteries were Earth-own or signs of something greater. One evening, alarms pulsed gently. A trench survey was ready. Victoria and Michael boarded a submersible with pilot Daniel Reed. The craft descended into blackness, where no light had ever reached. Pressure groaned on the hull. "The sensors show irregular formations," Victoria said. Michael leaned closer. "Geological?" She shook her head. "Too symmetrical. Angles and clusters." Their floodlights swept across a wall and froze. Before them stretched crystalline stone, smooth as glass, ridges catching the light like mirrors. It extended farther than the beams could reach, an immense cathedral carved into the abyss. Michael whispered, "This isn't rock, it's architecture." Back at Samudra 1, analysis deepened the mystery. The surface was older than surrounding seabed, resistant to erosion, infused with rare elements. Sonar pulses vanished inside, absorbed. Stranger still, the walls seemed to hum faintly. A vibration felt more than heard. In the council chamber, Victoria presented the data. "This is evidence of non-human construction." Michael followed, his voice urgent. "We may have been searching the stars too long. Perhaps life has been here all along, beneath us." The chamber erupted. Secrecy, panic, wonder. Engineers feared destabilization. Finally, Council Leader Elizabeth Morgan ruled, "No announcements until we know more. Dr. Ross and Dr. Carter will lead a supervised investigation." That night, Victoria lay awake, remembering the hum. It sounded like a temple bell, vibrating through her chest. Across the city, Michael studied its frequencies. To him, they looked like language. The next day they returned, with stronger scanners. The crystalline wall shimmered, almost alive. Michael's readings spiked. "Something's happening," he said. The hum grew louder, shifting into 3 pulses. Pause. 3 pulses again. "It's a signal," Victoria whispered. Daniel gripped the controls. "What if it's answering us?" The tones reverberated through the submersible, steady as a heartbeat. The wall glowed faintly, as though awakening from a long sleep. Victoria's pulse quickened. For centuries, humanity had looked to the skies for signs of intelligence. But here, in the silent depths of their own ocean, something stirred, something alien. The crystalline trench wall glowed faintly as the submersible drifted closer. Dr. Victoria Ross pressed her hand to the viewport. "It's reacting to us," she whispered. Beside her, Dr. Michael Carter studied his instruments. Not geology, not biology, construction. "And it's awake." Pilot Daniel Reed swallowed hard. "At this depth, who built anything here?" The wall pulsed with light as if answering. 3 tones echoed through the water, rhythmic and deliberate. The sound pressed into the Samudra 1's council chamber. The recording played across the dome. The harmonic sequence filled the hall with eerie beauty. "This is communication," Victoria explained. Michael nodded. "A signal structured. Someone, or something, wants us to hear it." The chamber erupted with voices. Some called for secrecy, fearing panic. Engineers worried the structure might threaten the city. Others demanded open research. Council Leader Elizabeth Morgan raised her hand. "Until we know more, this discovery remains classified. Dr. Ross and Dr. Carter will continue under supervision. We proceed cautiously." That night, Victoria lay awake, replaying the sound. The tones reminded her of temple bells, calm yet unsettling. Across the city, Michael analyzed the frequencies. "Not random," he told her over comms. "They're layered like data. It's language." Victoria's chest tightened. "Then, it's trying to talk to us." Before he could respond, the city lights flickered. A low rumble vibrated through the domes, shaking glass. Alarms blared. Daniel's urgent voice cut through the comms. "Observation Bay 1, now." They raced through the corridors, joining others at the massive glass wall. Outside, the trench shimmered. The crystalline surface was alive with veins of light, symbols forming spirals, angles, geometric glyphs glowing in unison. Then came the sound again, not three tones this time, but a long, resonant chord. It rattled the walls and vibrated through every chest. Children covered their ears. Scientists clutched their instruments. The council stood frozen. Victoria's lips trembled as she whispered, "It's answer."
Flowed like a submerged cathedral. The crystalline wall pulsed with symbols that seemed alive. Dr. Victoria Ross pressed closer to the glass of the observation bay, her heart racing. "It's not just light," she said softly. "It's information." Dr. Michael Carter studied the patterns on his pad. Agreed. It's layered, like a memory being played back. Council leader Elizabeth Morgan stood behind them, arms crossed. "You're saying this thing is conscious?" Michael hesitated. "Not alive in the way we are. More like a collective intelligence preserved in crystal." As if hearing him, the wall pulsed brighter. The tones returned, but this time they were different, slower, deeper, almost like a voice learning to form words. The vibration filled the chamber, and for a moment, Victoria swore she heard faint whispers inside her mind. She staggered back. Did anyone else hear that? Daniel Reed, standing near the control panel, looked pale. "I didn't hear it. I felt it." Over the following days, Victoria and Michael worked tirelessly, trying to establish communication. They used sound, pulses, frequencies, even flashes of light. Each time the structure responded, tones shifted, symbols glowed, fragments of thought brushed against their consciousness. One evening, exhaustion heavy in their bones, they finally broke through. A phrase emerged, halting and rough, but clear enough. "We remember." The words weren't spoken. They vibrated through the walls, resonating directly in their minds. Victoria clutched the console. "It's talking." Michael's eyes widened with awe. Not just talking. Sharing visions flashed through them. Images of vast oceans under alien skies. Cities of crystal towers. Ships drifting between stars. Then came fire, ruin, silence. The visions ended as suddenly as they began. They fled. Michael breathed. Their world died. They came here to hide. The council debated furiously. Some saw opportunity, new technology, new energy sources. Others feared danger, warning that an alien intelligence. Robert Hayes slammed his fist on the table. "We're tampering with something we don't understand. What if it sees us as enemies?" Victoria shot back. "What if it sees us as allies? This isn't a weapon. It's an archive. A living record of a civilization that trusted the ocean to keep it safe." Elizabeth Morgan's gaze swept the chamber. "Until we know more, there will be no military interference." Ross Carter, you continue carefully. That night, Victoria dreamed she floated in darkness. Surrounded by faint lights like stars, a presence touched her mind. Neither hostile nor kind, simply vast. "You listen," it whispered. "You remember? With us." She woke, trembling, convinced the alien intelligence had chosen her as a bridge. The next morning, Michael confessed the same. "It reached me too, in dreams. It wants connection." Their bond with the entity deepened, but not everyone in Samudra 1 trusted them. Quiet whispers spread through the city. Scientists unnerved, engineers fearful in the shadows. Someone planned sabotage. On the 7th day, as Victoria prepared another round of tests, alarms shrieked. Power surged through the crystal, then cut off abruptly. Consoles sparked, lights died. Michael cursed. "The link is severed." Daniel checked the systems. "It's not the alien, it's us." Someone shut it down from inside the city. The chamber fell into chaos. The alien glow dimmed, its voice fading into silence. Victoria slammed her fist on the glass. "No, we were so close," but the wall only reflected her desperate face. The living archive had been silenced. The silence in the observation chamber was crushing. Where once the crystalline wall had pulsed with alien light, now it stood dark, and Dr. Victoria Ross slammed her palm against the console. "We didn't lose the signal by accident. Someone cut us off." Dr. Michael Carter scanned the log. "She's right. Power was rerouted, deliberately. Whoever did this wanted to sever the link." Pilot Daniel Reed swore under his breath. "Why sabotage our greatest discovery?" The council convened within the hour. Elizabeth Morgan, the leader of Samudra, 1 paced before the gathered scientists and engineers. "We have evidence the communications array was tampered with. Until we know who, all access to the trench is suspended." A murmur of outrage rippled through the chamber. Victoria rose to her feet. "Suspended. That alien intelligence chose to share its history with us. If we shut it out now, we may never." Robert Hayes cut her off sharply. "Or maybe that's a blessing. You call it an intelligence. But what if it's a parasite? What if it's rewriting your minds? Even as we. Michael stood beside Victoria. That's paranoia. We've seen visions, yes, but they weren't hostile. They were warnings. It's trying to teach us. Elizabeth raised her hand for silence. Enough. Dr. Ross and Dr. Carter will work under restricted conditions. No further experiments until we guarantee safety. That night, Victoria couldn't sleep. The alien presence still lingered faintly in her dreams, like a whisper through water. We remember. We wait. She found Michael in the lab, bent over his instruments. "You're awake too," she said. He looked up, his face drawn. "I tried reconstructing the signal manually. The alien wasn't just showing us memories. It was warning us. Warning us of what?" He hesitated, then brought up an image. A shattered world. Oceans boiling, towers of crystal falling into fire. Their civilization collapsed. They weren't just fleeing. They were hiding from something. Something they feared would follow. Victoria shivered. "And now we've awakened them." Days later, a new voice rose among the council. Admiral Jonathan Blake, commander of a U.S. Navy detachment assigned to protect the city. His presence had been cannot allow uncontrolled alien contact, Blake declared. "This city is vulnerable. My orders are clear. If that structure poses a threat, we neutralize it." Elizabeth Morgan frowned. "Neutralize, Admiral? You're suggesting destruction?" Blake's jaw tightened. "I'm suggesting survival." Victoria burst out. "You can't destroy it. This isn't a weapon. It's a living archive, a memory of an entire people." Blake's gaze was cold. "And archives can become viruses. You two are too close to it. You can't see the danger." Michael stepped forward, defiant. "If you attack it, you'll provoke it. This isn't just science, Admiral. It's diplomacy. Our first contact. You'd start it with war." The council fractured. Some sided with Blake, convinced the alien posed a threat. Others supported Victoria and Michael, believing communication was the only path. That evening, Victoria and Michael returned secretly to the observation bay. Daniel followed reluctantly. "Security's everywhere," he warned. "If Blake finds us, we don't have a choice," Victoria said. "If they shut it down completely, we'll lose the chance forever." Michael pressed a device against the console. "I spliced a backup power link. If the alien is still listening, this should wake it up." The wall flickered faintly, a pulse of blue running across its surface. Then came the tones. Weak, fragile. Victoria leaned forward, whispering, "We're here. We didn't abandon you." The wall pulsed again, brighter, this time. The voice came not just in sound, but in their minds. "Danger. You must choose together or apart." At that moment, the alarms blared. Soldiers stormed the chamber, Admiral Blake at their head. "Step away from the console," he barked. Victoria stood her ground. "If you silence it, you'll doom us all." The alien glow rose higher, filling the chamber with shimmering light. Symbols cascaded across the wall, forming images of collapsing cities, burning skies, and oceans devoured by shadows. Michael's voice shook. "It's showing us the enemy that destroyed them, and it's telling us that enemy may still exist." Blake raised his hand. "Shut it down." But before anyone could move, the wall surged with brilliance, and the entire city trembled, as if caught in the grip of something. The walls of Samudra, one, shuddered as the crystalline trench erupted in light. Sirens wailed. Water tremors rattled every dome. Soldiers grabbed their weapons while scientists clutched instruments that flickered with overload. Dr. Victoria Ross shielded her eyes against the brilliance flooding the observation bay beside her. Dr. Michael Carter steadied himself, his voice hoarse. "It's not attacking us. It's trying to protect itself." Admiral Jonathan Blake barked order. "Evacuate the chamber if it destabilizes the seabed. This whole city goes under." But the alien voice boomed again, resonating through metal and bone alike. "Danger comes. Choose together or apart." The meaning was clear. The archive was offering help, but only if humanity gathered in chaos. Elizabeth Morgan slammed her gavel against the table, her calm voice cutting through the noise. "We must decide. Do we fight it or trust it?" Engineer Robert Hayes was pale. "If the city collapses, there won't be anyone left to argue. We need to shut it down, now." Victoria rose to her feet, her voice sharp with conviction. "You saw the visions. Their world burned because they stood alone. They buried their memories here for someone to find. If we destroy this archive, we repeat their mistake." Michael stepped forward. "It's offering a partnership. If we listen, if we merge our knowledge, we may not just save this city, we may learn how to protect Earth itself." Admiral Blake glared. "Or hand it the keys to our survival and watch it enslave us." Elizabeth looked around the chamber. Fear and hope battled in every face. Finally, she turned to Victoria and Michael. "If we trust it, can you stabilize the city?" Victoria hesitated, then nodded. "If we work together, the trio, Victoria, Michael, and Daniel Reed rushed back to the observation bay. The crystalline wall pulsed violently, vibrations shaking the floor. Michael wired the consoles into the alien structure. "Think of it as a dialogue," he said breathlessly. "Our systems talk, theirs reply. We sync frequencies and pray it doesn't fry us." Victoria placed her hands against the glass. She closed her eyes, willing calm. "We're here. We're listening." The wall brightened, symbols streaming like rivers of light. For a heartbeat, the city's failing power surged back, lights stabilizing. Oxygen turbines hummed steady again. "It's working," Michael gasped. "It's reinforcing our systems through resonance." But the visions returned. Oceans boiling, skies torn by fire, shadows consuming everything. The archive's warning seared into their minds. Victoria whispered, "That's what's coming. Not here yet, but out there, someday." The crisis peaked. The alien energy threatened to overwhelm the dome's systems. Sparks flew. Alarms screamed. Admiral Blake burst into the bay with soldiers, weapons raised. "Cut the link," he shouted. Elizabeth Morgan arrived moments later, standing firm in his path. "Stand down, Admiral. Look at the city outside. The glass." Schools of fish swirled in glowing patterns, drawn by the resonance. The ocean seemed alive, breathing with the city. Michael raised his voice over the roar. "It's not destroying us, it's binding with us. If we sever the link, we'll collapse. If we hold on, we live." Blake froze, torn between command and survival. Elizabeth made the call. "Trust them. Let it continue." The light reached a crescendo, then softened. The trembling stilled. Samudra 1 held systems stabilized. The alien glow dimmed to a steady pulse, calm and rhythmic, like a heartbeat shared between two worlds. In the silence that followed, the alien voice spoke one last time, clear and resonant. "Together, you endure." Weeks later, repairs were complete. The city thrived again. Its residents changed forever. The archive still pulsed quietly in the trench. No longer a mystery, Victoria and Michael often stood together in the observation tube. "Think anyone will believe us when the truth comes out?" Michael asked. Victoria smiled faintly. "They won't have to. They'll see. The city itself survived because of it." Daniel Reed joined them, arms folded. "I still don't like that it talks in my dreams." Michael chuckled. "Better dreams than nightmare." Elizabeth Morgan's words during the final council session still echoed. "Samudra 1 is no longer just a city. It's a covenant between us and them." And so the underwater city endured, not just as a marvel of human engineering, but as the first bridge between Earth and a civilization long lost above them. The waves rolled on, unaware beneath a quiet heartbeat of light, promised a future written not in isolation, but together.